aka Bullets, YouTube channel.
Hurry up, now tell us why you're here.
Hollingus will start at pole position with the Rocket Ryan Newcar to his outside. Row 2 has the King and Tony Gasworth, looking to add another win to their long list of wins. Row 3 has Lightning McQueen, the rookie that's won 7 races so far, and the Mean Green Car Kicks! Row 4 has Chuck Armstrong and Greg Beeple, who's led way too many laps this season. Row 5 has Sage Vanderspin, who's won 1 race, and Kurt Buschtire to his outside. Row 6 has Kevin Shiftwright and Moray Clutchburn, the 1989 Piston Cup champion. Row 7 has Todd Marcus, who will hopefully not wreck any other cars this race, and Carl Edwards to his outside. Row 8 has Mark Carton and Jeremy Carfield, who last won last year. Row 9 has Casey Corner and Kyle Buschtire. Both are winless. Row 10 has Kevin Carvick, who won in his 3rd start, and Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's won a race this season. Row 11 has Elliot Draftler, who's won 2 races last year, and Misty Motocross, who's won some races. Row 12 has Ernie Gearson, hoping to get his top 20 points position back, and Dale Carr to his outside. Row 13 is Billy Oil Changer and Michael Cartrip, who's won 2 Florida 500s. Row 14 is Krusty Rotor, who will hopefully not crash, and Jeff Gorvette, trying to fix his bad season. Row 15 is Joel McQueen, Lightning McQueen's older brother, and Eugene Komareski. Row 16 is Matt Karzith, starting badly, as usual, and Bobby Cabani to his outside. Row 17 is 2 green cars, Johnny Blamer and Darren Ledfoot, who won 2 weeks ago. Row 18 is James Clean Air, who's won 5 times, and Winford Bradford Rutherford, who got his first win last year. Row 19 is Rusty Wheelhouse and his teammate Ryan Shields, getting his 2nd start this season. Row 20 has Ken Schrader, hoping not to get wrecked, and Floyd Movelhill to his outside. Row 21 has Jeff Burnton, starting all the way in the back, and Brian Brooks, making his 1st start this season. And starting in 43rd is Rusty Cornfuel, who beat Brush Kerber to qualify for this race. And these cars shown here, among many others, failed to qualify for this race. Hollingus would lead the first 14 laps of the race before he'd lose the lead to the King. The King would lead until lap 25, where Hollingus would retake the lead. He'd lead until lap 29, where he'd lose the lead to Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen would lead for 9 laps before Tony Gasworth would take the lead from him. He'd lead until lap 43, where Carl Edwards would take the lead from him. He'd lead for 6 laps before he'd lose the lead to Ryan Newcar, the Rocket, who'd lead for 2 laps before Tony Gasworth would retake the lead. He'd lead for 6 laps before Hollingus would retake the lead. He'd lead for 2 laps before he'd lose the lead to Jeremy Carfield. Jeremy Carfield would lead all the way until lap 65, where Tony Gasworth would retake the lead. He'd lead until lap 71, where Jeremy Carfield would retake the lead. But he'd only lead for 3 laps this time, because Lightning McQueen would take the lead from him on lap 74, but on lap 83, Greg Beeple would take the lead for the first time this race, leading until lap 97, where the Mean Green Car bumps him out of the way to take the lead. But on lap 132, Todd Marcus would bump the Mean Green Car out of the way. Hooray! And that means he takes the lead from him. But he only lead for 2 laps because Chuck Hicks is 12th as of that lap, when he wrecks his rival Kyle Buschtire, Johnny Blamer, and Krusty Rotor. What? The King would take the lead after the restart on lap 135, but on lap 174, Floyd Movelhill would take the lead from the King, leading for 3 laps before Chuck Armstrong would take the lead from him. He'd lead until lap 183, but Jeremy Carfield would be 21st as of that lap, where he accidentally wrecks himself and Bobby Carboni. Now they're both out through the season because of Brian Brooks. Why did you have to make Jeremy Carfield and Bobby Carboni miss the final 3 races of the season? As punishment, Brian Brooks will be suspended for the rest of the season and the first 10 races of next season. Rusty Wheelhouse would take the lead after the restart, leading for 12 laps before his teammate Ryan Newcar would take the lead from him, leading for 11 laps, but then Chuck X would be second as of that lap. When he wrecks Ryan Newcar, who gets flipped and goes into the catch fence. Why, Mean Green Car? Why? Billy Oil Changer would not pit after the restart, which means he takes the lead. But on lap 234, he would run out of fuel and have his tires pop, which means he's out. The King would take the lead from him, taking the lead on lap 235, but only 2 laps later, Lightning McQueen would take the lead, leading all the way until lap 267, where Sage Vanderspin would take the lead from him. He'd lead until lap 273, but Trick Hacks would be second as of that lap, when he wrecks Sage Vanderspin, the leader. Why? Rusty Wheelhouse has something to say to the Mean Green Car and Piston Cup officials. Kevin Carvick would take the lead after the restart, leading to lap 286, where Hollingus would take the lead from him. He'd lead for 4 laps, but in the middle of those 4 laps, Missy Motocross would try to wreck the Mean Green Car, but she unfortunately failed. Claude Scruggs, as usual, is complaining that Misty Motocross didn't succeed. Lightning McQueen would take the lead on lap 290, leading for 11 laps before Greg People would take the lead from him. But on lap 323, Lightning McQueen would retake the lead, leading until lap 347, where Tony Gasworth would himself retake the lead. But he only lead for 1 lap because Lightning McQueen is back in the lead. He'd lead until lap 371, where his older brother Jewel would take the lead from him. He'd lead the first 6 laps of his Piston Cup career. His younger brother Lightning would retake the lead on lap 378, and he'd lead all the way until the checkered flag, which he takes, and that makes him the winner of the 2005 Revolting 400. Here is the top 10 of the race, with brothers Lightning and Jewel finishing 1-2. Jewel gets his first top 10. And here is the top 20 in points, with Jeremy Carfield no longer being in it. And Lightning McQueen's points lead getting 20 points larger.
Remember to press the notifications button, which goes ring, ring, ring after you press it. And lightning strikes back, and that's as if you subscribed, of course. And thank you for watching this entire video.
The reason I wasn't as enthusiastic at the end of the race is because Lightning McQueen was leading by 11 seconds! Sure, Joel came second, but Lightning McQueen won this race by 11 seconds! Which is extremely long. And the 34th race of 2005 will be coming out soon enough.